welcome back to the channel. I am Chase, and today we are looking into Vampirella #1. It just was a relaunch celebrating the 50-year anniversary of Vampirella, and Christopher Priest is the one writing it. There's been a lot of excitement about that, and this book has been pretty explosive. I think it's sold over 100,000 copies so far. So, and that's Dynamite, Vampirella. That's pretty crazy. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this book. So we got a really cool cover here by Frank Cho, and I gotta say, I always love Frank Cho, his art, and I always love his colors. I mean, really cool front back spread, and I mean, look at just the detail and all the cloth sheets, whatever you want to call it. Just looks really cool, and obviously she looks really cool. So this is Vampirella #1. It is a relaunch. It is celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the character. Yeah, Dynamite. They hired Christopher Priest to write it, and I'm pretty sure he'll continue to write it. And there was a whole kind of just backlash around Christopher Priest and him writing this, and just kind of, it was nonsense. That's what it was in the end. It was just nonsense and just noise. But yeah, everybody was really happy Christopher Priest got it. And to show that this comic from Dynamite, a comic from Dynamite, has sold, like, I think it's like, oh, I know it's over 100,000 copies of this comic, and I'm really mad. I got like, I've beat this up. I've read this thing like 3 times. So yeah, let's get into it. One of the things I kind of get annoyed by with like launches like this, and when they're really special, and Marvel does it a lot, and even DC doesn't do it as much, but you know, they'll get in the game too. But like, they just, all these different variant covers, and it's just kind of like when there's so many different covers, it kind of just like devalues the one you have. I don't know, it just feels like that way for me. So this is written by Christopher Priest, like I said, and also it's drawn and inked and colored by Ergun Gunduz, which I have not heard of him. I don't know of anything else that he's done, but I swear his art is bipolar. In some moments you're like, wow. Well, I wouldn't say, no, okay. That's wow. In some moments you're like, hey, he's doing all right. He's doing decent. And then some moments you're just like, what are you doing? Like, here, I hate this page. This is okay. This, like this, yeah. This is just bad. I mean, my niece could draw better than this. And I don't even know if she likes to draw. But she could draw better than this. Like this house up here. Like, I feel like this was done, like, Christopher Priest wrote the script, and then at the very end, he's like, hey, I think it'd be a cool thing to have this spread of a train wreckage, and Ergun was like, okay. I mean, look at it. It's literally a pen scribble. He literally went like that. These trees, these burnout, like he just stroked his pen across the paper. It's so bad. Anyway, this is set a little bit into the future after this plane crash that happened. So, but see, so here, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Ergun, okay, he's bipolar. Okay, Ergun Gunduz. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like, okay, look at this building. Look at that building. That's done well. He obviously mapped that out. Even that, the mall, that school bus looks pretty good. Like, even these houses, like, he does a nice perspective. She looks good. Like, she doesn't look huge or anything like that. Like, that looks good. But then you go back to here and it's like, Aragoon, what are you doing? And why is he being allowed to do that? That's the second question. So that's why I mean his work is just bipolar. I will say I do like how he does faces. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't draw faces like that. I don't really know anybody else that draws faces like that. But for some reason, I like the way he draws faces. Like, I think it's the eyes. The eyes always look very piercing. Like, they look very like right there. This I would have totally said, if I was the editor, I would have said, you can't do this. Because it looks like it's one of those kinds of panels like you'll see in some comics where it's this, you'll see like 4 panels side by side. They're all split, but it's one continuous shot throughout the whole thing. So it's like if it's Batman's arm or something, it'll be split, but it's all one arm. So all the panels joined together, they'd make the image. That's what it looks like it's trying to do here, but no, that's not what it's trying to do. That's just bad layout. That's all. Because it looks like she's like sitting on her bike and then looking back at you while her butt is facing you and her leg. Yeah. We get it. We get what's going on, but just, yeah. No, that's bad composition. So then we get a shot, another spread of Vampirella. This is a 3D model. I don't really like that. I think that's kind of, because obviously he can draw. I don't know if he was rushed, but I know I'm criticizing him a lot, but I can see where his strengths are, and I do think he has potential. I just think he needs to be directed. I think he needs to get a better mentor or a better editor or something to kind of guide him. Yeah, I would have just drawn it. I would have used that 3D model as a reference, but I think I would have just drawn it. Anyway, so yeah, and apparently there was supposed to be some imagery in the book that kind of leaned a certain way or just to kind of own certain individuals. I don't want to get all political in this, but I'm glad they chose not to do it. But it was so specifically right here. I'm glad they just chose to don't do it. And overall, I will just say this just before we keep going. This book, I like it. I really like it, and it didn't get political. I felt like it didn't get political on either side. I watched your boy Zach's review, and he really liked it. And then I watched Nerdette's Newsstand, and she hated it. So I'm like, I watched her video, and I was like, I don't know, Tristan, I don't really know why you hate this book, but I mean, I get it. She's got her opinion, and I totally respect that. And it's surprising because this is a big release. And there's not a lot of videos out there in regards to this comic. I was really surprised, actually, because, yeah, I was like, well, cool. I guess people will find my videos. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, like, where he has a good run. Like, like, I love that face. I love that face. I love each of these faces. Like, they look so good, especially that one. I love everything about it. I love, like, the eyes, the nose, the lips. I really appreciate how you say that because I really struggle when I draw female faces. And faces in general, but especially female faces, because here's the thing. With female faces, you have to choose your lines so carefully when it comes to drawing a female face, because one line can add like 30 years on the character you're drawing. And it just, or they'll just look all ratchet, and you're just like, I don't know what I am doing anymore. I am a failed artist. And that's how I feel sometimes. So, like, these faces, I love these faces. These faces look so good. And, okay, so I'm kind of getting off on art and all that. I'm not really getting into the story. This dude, really cool. He is a therapist, because what happens is Vampirella is on this airplane, and the airplane does crash, and I'm guessing she's the only survivor of it besides this guy right here, Von Christie, I think was his name. Basically, the plane starts going down, and I thought she was flying here for a second, but I was like, oh wait, no, like the plane's going down. It's 0 G's, so she's kind of just floating up to the airplane bathroom where, I'm gonna say it, Von Creest, right there, Von Creest, where Von Creest is, and they start fighting. And so what happens is eventually the plane does go down, and so that's why she ended up here with Doc Chari, is how you say it, because he's like Dr. Cherry. Oh yeah, Doc Chari. Like, sorry. So Doc Chari, Dr. Chari, and so she's kind of going by this code name Ella Normandy, and she's basically like, he's trying to figure out who she is, because he thinks she's just playing a game. Like that she's saying, oh, I'm an alien. I'm not even from this planet, but you know, I do call this place my home, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, no, stop playing that game. And so throughout the book, he's like, he keeps calling out these other nationalities to kind of figure out, like, who she is. So she fights Von Creest in this plane, and while the plane is still going down. Again, this is a little cumbersome. Yeah, it's just very jumbled, because so you don't really get an idea of what's happening. I mean, you could defend it saying they're fighting in an airplane bathroom. It's a tight space, so you're closed in really tightly in certain areas. So you could get away saying that, but it feels very convoluted when you're reading it, or not reading it, but just looking at it. Eventually, the plane goes down, and it breaks in half, and in the wreckage, Von Creest, not Christie, gets his head cut off, and while falling, Vampirella gets into her costume, like Superman style. She rips off her top clothes to reveal her costume underneath, and a really cool shot here, where her wings come out. It's a really pretty shot. So in this interview, there comes a point where Vampirella here, she keeps talking about her, like, vampires and, like, werewolves and all that kind of stuff. And Dr. Chari here, he's getting angry, okay? Now, this is where I like him, okay? Because obviously Dr. Chari is old. I don't know, he's in his late 60s. Probably, no, I would say he's probably in his early 70s. Maybe even mid 70s. Okay? And he's seen a lot. He's seen everybody be crazy. Okay? He's seen a lot of crazy people in his life. And he's probably sick and tired, because he's probably heard the same story over and over and over. And he's just getting up there, and he's just tired. And this is one of my favorite parts in the book, is he just starts laying into her. Okay? Because she's talking about the devil. Oh, I think that was actually where... Oh, okay, no, it comes up later. So he's like, there ain't no devil, no witches, no werewolf, no vampires. You half-naked Canadian are not no alien from Pluto. You are exhibiting symptoms of a dissociative disorder response to major emotional trauma. Okay, so stop with that. And I think she needs him. Because obviously what she's saying is true. She's not saying lies. But what's so good is that he is not being, very kind. He's actually very mean throughout this whole interview. Very mean to her. But I think she needs that to be grounded in reality. He is trying so hard to stay within reason. And I think in a strange way that helps her to stay there, to be more grounded in her thoughts. So then honestly, this scene right here, they're talking about Benny. I'm not gonna lie. I've read this 3 times now, and I do not I just figured it out. Oh my gosh. I literally just figured this out. That's Benny. Okay. And then this is the after, like they're waiting for the flight to arrive. She is there to pick up Benny. She finds out she's dead and she walks off. Okay, I get that now. Now the other part is I don't get why that connects to Vampirella. So I guess we'll figure out later. I had a breakthrough. While you just witnessed a breakthrough. I had an epiphany while reviewing this comic. Okay, so then in the end, wow, I actually, I don't know if I should have done that. Anyway, okay, whatever. In the end, it's been out for a while now. Go get it. I recommend it. So, okay. Sorry, Chase, find your place. Okay, so in the end, there's this spider that is possessed by who she calls Stan, and basically this spider thing keeps an eye on Vampirella, which I'm assuming that's who was right here, right there, because you see it's the dark with the white text. I'm assuming maybe that was involved. I don't know. Anyway, that was sent. He follows her to keep tabs on her for her mother. That did not leave me in suspense because I have no idea what that even means. I don't know who her mother is. However, he left me in suspense because I want to know more about Dr. Chari. He is just a cool dude, and I want to know more about him and how he will fit into Vampirella's future story. So I really hope we see more of Dr. Chari. He's a cool guy. Anyway, that's the review. I say, if you haven't, I would go pick this up. This was cool. I liked it. It's cool, and I really see high hopes for this. Also, yeah, that's it. Go pick it up. It's a good comic. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching this long. And if you haven't already, please hit that bell, or please subscribe and then hit that bell for notifications. And go ahead and like this video because it helps out a lot. And if you don't, Nerdette, Tristan, if you're watching this video, okay, if you want to tell me how much you hate this video, please comment below. Tell me how much you hate this, or hate this comic, not my video. I hope you like the video, but if you hate the comic, tell me about how much you hate the comic. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Yeah, go pick it up and tweet it at Nerdette's Newsstand. All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.